Hello world, Lantinian here, and this has been a day long coming, years in the making. We finally get to talk about Wider Front Lines, the fan expansion, in a physical form that you can buy or maybe ask me to make one for you. As always, the files will be available for free download on Board Game Geek. This is really cool. I can't wait to open it and show you what's inside. But let's do a quick review of what was before. So Wider Front Lines was an expansion that added a new custom board or sheet where you insert the original Rise of the Empire unit sheet inside. You then have a lot of new units, both from the Empire and from the Rebels. And the way I integrated it into my own organizer, I added additional dividers, made some stickers for it. But the whole idea is to add a lot of new advanced tactic cards, replace some existing cards, and just add a lot of combat variety in the game. When I wanted to make this as a sort of like a thing you can put on your shelf, I had to come to reality in terms of what I can fit into a box this small. And so I'm really happy that the person who made the miniatures for me has made them available for download. And there's another shop that I will link, which will be able to sell you these miniatures fully ready, and you can buy them and get them shipped anywhere in the world. So the only thing you actually need is a solution for the cards and for the sheets. And that's what I'm here to tell you about. So we have the Wider Front Lines. I've already introduced Dawn of the Rebels, and obviously we have Galactic Struggle. So Wider Front Lines in terms of a box, exactly the same size as Dawn of the Rebels. Really lucky in that regard. I didn't have to redesign it. But let's move on to the contents. I've already opened another box just to show you how it looks like. So we have obviously the flavor text inside. On the back we have the contents, and you'll notice here fan expansion number 5. What I decided to do is there was actually space inside to fit another expansion I made, and that's Power of the Will, and we'll get to that in a moment. So first we have the booklet with the relevant QR codes to the rest of the expansions. And so when you open it, the first thing you see, wow, okay, there we go, Power of the Will. So that's also included somehow. We have a complete list of all the contents. We have some information about the miniatures, how to set it up, how to set up Power of the Will. And then we have a very detailed explanation what cards to remove and replace with the new ones. And then frequently asked questions about Power of the Will, specifically that mobile rebel base, which is really cool. Okay, so that's the new cool booklet I designed, which I'm really happy for. And let's move on to the next one. The next one is the new unit sheet. So obviously we couldn't fit that big one in here. That had to be a folded version. And this one actually is pretty cool. So all the new units with all the changes that I made, looking exactly the same as the original ones. Okay, so here's the original ones. You can't distinguish them, except the one that I've made is made from a non-reflective, has non-reflective coating, so you'll be able to see them much better. And on the back, as usual, you have your base game Rise of the Empire setup if you wish. There's an information, you can just hold it like that, it still be useful. And then you have your Wider Front Lines with a bit of updated instruction how to set it up, looking at exactly what the base game does and just replacing or adding a specific step. So that's the Rebel ones. Let's have a look at the Empire. And by the way, I do want to mention, since we were here, one of the changes is this double triangle. So the B-Wing is now really powerful, as it should be, and you essentially need to build it from 2 separate locations at the same time. Similar for the Wookiee, this is where the change really started, since you can technically, the only place where you can build it from a singular place is Kashyyyk, but of course you can combine 2 separate locations. So I think that change really makes sense and still makes these units more powerful, yet is still in the light category. Okay. So we don't have that kind of units here, I think. So for the Empire, I've just simplified some units just to use dice instead of having special effects. So players are more focused on the actual battle and don't have to read as much. Okay, and of course we have the setup instructions here. Again, everything nice and tidy. Okay, so the 2 folding boards. Next, I'll have this plate, QR plate. You can scan this QR code. It will take you directly to the page where you can purchase all the miniatures in the quantity I recommended, but you know, you can make up your own mind about how many units you need from each. And on the back, you have the 2 sets for download if you want to 3D print them. So the 2 sets are the 2 spaceships, and in one of the sets, all the ground miniatures are included for free. Okay, so you may have to use that one. All right, then we have something here that's kind of cool. Labels. What are these labels? All right, so as you can see, I do like to have labels in my trays pointing out which unit goes where and how many of them. So I decided just to have space or include labels for each unit, including the individual ones. So that's all the space units and all the ground units as well. So you can just peel them off and stick them to your storage solution and organize them the way you like, so they all feel like a combined set. Okay, so we'll put that to the side. Then we have the main set of cards, and we have a set of small cards. And here we have the QR link to Board Game Geek from which you can download the files. Okay, let's have a look. What are these small cards? Okay, so one thing is this expansion does require Galactic Struggle. So you really need to have this one because of Throne as a leader. That's pretty much. But there's also something about the setup. I've designed this to go on top of Galactic Struggle. I'll explain that in a moment. So here's Throne from Galactic Struggle. You can recruit them using this card. And here are some cards that are replaced with, I think, better versions. Like, for example, all the cards that have to do with the ring have a text where it says that you can actually put that ring each new turn to a new leader, which makes it a bit more versatile. If you're stuck with one leader having that ring throughout the game, you can change it. And similar thing for the other updated cards. There's something better about them, I think. So these are mostly new versions of the existing cards. Here's a new card. We have a new ring. I'll get to that in a moment. Another version for Throne. This is a new original card. Okay, and here's where the interesting thing comes up. So up to here, these are Wider Front Lines icon. And here we have all the cards from Power of the Will. They are distinguished by that diplomacy-like or Jedi-like logo. And so this expansion fits really nice with Wider Front Lines, as you can either mix it in with your starting action cards. So these are starting action cards, they're not recruit cards. They just increase your starting action card variety immensely. There's basically 2 new cards for each leader. Some of them even have 3, I think. I should probably know since I made it. I think that they do, but anyway, you can definitely, okay, there's definitely for Vader, and for a Palpatine there's 3. And so you can either play with only these, or you can mix them with your original cards. And so that's a really cool small expansion that makes this box complete. All right, so we have new recruit cards or updated cards and totally new action cards. So that's a small deck. Let's have a look at the larger deck. Okay. All right, as the Throne specific mission card. And again, some card improvements here, just more options on existing cards that I felt are a bit, maybe not boring, but limited in scope. This is a replacement for the Super Laser Online. It's just extra effect if you have 2 leaders. And I think the artwork is a bit better as well. Okay, new card to recruit special units for the Empire, and several new project cards for the Dark Troopers, cloning of units, the shuttle for Director Krennic, TIE Defender, TIE Advance X1, and some updates to existing cards. Like this new card, for example, the only thing it changes is essentially allows you to recruit like a trooper. It doesn't specifically say Stormtrooper because there's various types of troopers now. You have Dark Troopers, Scout Troopers, and so it doesn't feel, it feels limited to only limited to Stormtroopers when now we increase the units so much. And look at the artwork, you can see it's brighter, you can see more. So in addition to updating the effect, I may have tried to include more of the artwork, like wider version of it, or a little better quality. Oh, this is a new card, another new card. Totally new card for the Jedi specifically. Up to now, you had to build it directly from the sheet, but now you need a special card for it. So it's a bit more difficult. This is a unique card specifically for this version, so it wasn't available until now. It's a cool effect. It uses the tactics value of the space tactics value of the leader to reroll specific dice for a better effect. So again, a new version of the card. The artwork is a bit better. It took me a while to find it, to restore it to its best quality and include as much of it as possible. And of course, you have the attribution here for each person who has made an artwork. Their name is written now, unlike the original cards where you didn't know who actually made the artwork. So, and this is an interesting one. A fan asked me to just replace the artwork for this mission. There's no change in the text, but they didn't leave like the original one, which I totally agree. So I think this one makes much more sense now that we have Andor. Okay, better version artwork here. Again, a bit wider version of the artwork here. Some minor change to the text. And of course, we come to the meat of it. So we have the new tactics cards. You'll notice that the advanced units like Dark Troopers, or Dark Troopers and Death Troopers have 2 cards per them. So when you build a more advanced unit, you have actually more cards for them to play with. Like there are some exceptions, like TIE Bombers also have 2 cards, but there's 1 space and 1 ground cards for them. And yeah, the Jedi also has 2 cards. There's Jedi Master, hello there. All really cool effects. And these cards, if you notice, they have the exact matte finish, like a linen matte finish as the original card. So they will feel really like the original ones. I think you won't be able to tell the difference. Okay, and the Rebel ones too. Yeah, so all the cards here in extremely high quality. Again, with attribution for the artwork on the bottom. Whenever I was able to find it, who actually made the artwork. So we could start paying more attention to the artists who made these wonderful artworks for us over the years. So that will be really cool. And of course, we have the 2 new missions for the Rebels that you can just insert them, mix them, and play them. And I think just talking about these missions is fun. Like, gather the Alliance, you're supposed to gather the Alliance, and there's a picture of all the people you need to gather. And technically, you have to gather 7 leaders, and there's actually 7 leaders here, so that's cool. And I had to reposition a lot of ships here to make sure there's at least 8 unique ships visible on the picture. So to match the artwork and the title, really cool cards. And so, yeah, that's the expansion. So a few new missions, a lot of mission updates, a lot of new advanced tactic cards, has a QR code to purchase the miniatures, and you have your new sheets, you have your booklet, and everything is available in one small box. Again, the files will be available for download here, and there will be a link to my shop. So if you want to ask me to make this for you, I'll be more than happy to. So give me a message, or there may be one copy available for purchase by some chance. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can drop them here below, or you can ask me in my shop. Until the next time, May the force be with you.